Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Prima Advanced User Forum. This is Chris from the US team, and today we're going to be going over some catalog updates as well as some maintenance tasks we can do to keep our database updated surrounding the catalog. Things like protecting items, updating tax-exempt items in the database, um, discontinuing out-of-date items that are no longer on the catalog, and updating our price bands with new products that are from the catalog. Mike's going to be in the chat if you have any questions, so feel free to send him any questions you have in the chat there. It's going to be, if you hover down to the bottom of this meeting and go to more, there should be the chat button under there. Now, I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys how important it is to keep your catalog updated and your database updated with all the new products. So we'll be going over some tasks you can do and catalog updates you can do to keep everything running smoothly. So I suppose we'll just jump right in. So usually at the end of the month, you'll have a catalog update. And so before we update the catalog, what we want to do is to protect any items that you've made custom changes to. So what we'll do is we're going to go over to stock over here on the left, and then products. And you're going to search for any items that you've made custom changes to, things like changing the item description or the item code, or maybe adding your own units of measure, things like that. The catalog will update that. So what we want to do, if that's what's happening, is we'll go down here to the bottom right, and we have this protected tick mark right here. So when we click on that, when we update the catalog, it will not update this specific product. So again, that's just to keep any custom changes you've made to these products. So that's going to be a repeat process on each and every item you want to keep protected. Let's see. So after that's done, you know what, actually, while we're here, I also wanted to mention that we have a new feature called Quick Search. It's going to be up here at the top right. So Quick Search is to help with the search times on Prima. The default is usually going to be Quick Search up here and says in stock. So on this product lookup, for example, it's only going to search for products you have on hand by default. And then if you need to search for all products, we can go ahead and click this button once and it'll switch to Quick Search All. And again, that's supposed to help with search times as your database grows and you acquire more and more stock codes in the system here. It's supposed to keep things nice and smooth. That's in some other places as well, like SOP and orders. But in this case, it'll be switched from, every order from 6 months ago, or if you click it once, it'll be, searching all orders. Again, that's supposed to keep your search times down. But back on track. Yeah, once you protect all your items that you don't want to be updated from the catalog, what we'll do is we'll actually update the catalog. And what that looks like here is I'm actually going to go to a different database. There's going to be a pop-up down here at the bottom right that says publications. You can usually get it to pop up again by simply logging out and logging back in. Let me do so right here. You may also get this little pop-up here that says some taxes have been outstanding for a while. It's referring to this publication update right here. So the pop-up will say publications. It'll say new publication is available to be applied. So if we go ahead and click on that, this will give us a list of all the catalogs that are available to be updated right now. You do have the option of unticking any catalogs you might not want to be updated right away, but it's usually in your best interest to go ahead and update everything anyways. So to update it, we'll go ahead and hit apply down here at the bottom. So when you do hit apply, it's not going to update it immediately. It's going to schedule the update to happen after hours. So it's not going to, slow down your system as soon as you hit apply or anything like that. So it's usually in your best interest to, whenever you see the pop-up, go ahead and come in here, click apply, so that you have all the catalog updates as soon as possible. So again, that's going to update overnight. And so the next day, you'll have your fresh new catalogs in place. And when that happens, there's a few maintenance tasks we like to do to keep your database fresh and free of old products maybe. So the first thing we might want to do is to update any tax exempt attributes that we might have, any products that are, any new products I should say, that are going to be tax exempt from the catalog. For example, what we'll do is we'll go over to the publications and then the publications grid manager right here. Now, depending on your jurisdiction or how your business is run, there may be certain attributes that are always tax exempt, things like beverages or food items, stuff like that. So to update those en masse, what we can do is pick our catalog out of this drop down. We'll pick Ascendant in this case. And then out of the attribute group, we'll scroll down to our beverages. What we'll do is we'll hit search. It'll come up with our total number of beverage items from the Ascendant catalog. What we can do then is go to the results tab up at the top here. This will give you a list of all the items that are going to be changed in this update here, all the items we've selected. So it's best to go ahead and scroll through it, make sure these are definitely the items you want to be updating. If you notice a few maybe that don't belong there, you can go ahead and highlight those items and remove from selected records. And I'll go ahead and remove those items from the update. And once you look through these, everything looks okay. We'll go over to the Change tab up at the top here. And then we're going to update tax code to tax exempt transactions right here. And then hit apply. And again, that's just for if your business needs it, we can go ahead and update attribute groups en masse to be tax exempt. And you might want to rinse and repeat for your beverages and also maybe the food attribute group as well. We would do a separate change for that, as well as any other catalogs you might want to do. So after we've done Ascendant, we might want to go down to SP, for example, and do the same thing with our beverage attribute, our food, condiments, any attributes that will always be tax exempt. All right, and that's how we do that. So after that's done, after we update those tax exempt items, something else you might want to do is to discontinue old products that are no longer on the catalog. To do that, we're going to go to Stock and then to the main grid manager right here. And so we're going to search for any product that's no longer available from the vendor when a catalog updates. If it's no longer, if an item is no longer on the catalog that previously was, it will remove the vendor record from that product. So if you're in a situation where like all catalogs remove that specific item from their, from their catalog, what would happen is the item would no longer have any vendors available. It would just be blank in that little window. So in this grid manager here, we'll go ahead and select no vendor available right here. And then something else we want to do is pick only positive PG numbers. So PG numbers are to indicate if the items are associated with a catalog or not. So for example, positive PG numbers are going to be everything associated with a catalog. Negative PG numbers are going to be items that you created yourself, like your own codes, or anything you created yourself realistically is going to have a negative PG number that's not associated with the catalog. So we want to leave those ones alone. So we'll only pick the positive PG numbers for now. And with both of these set, we'll go ahead and hit search. Looks like we only have 6 at the moment. And again, we can look at the results, make sure these are the ones we want to discontinue. Once that's done, we'll go back to the change tab and then simply update product status to be discontinued. Now, again, this is just to clean up your database, make sure any products that are no longer purchasable are cleared from your database, so no one accidentally adds it to their sales order, or mix it up with another product, for example. When all vendors are removed from the product, it will automatically remove itself from the web, so you don't have to worry about that. Some dealers may also choose to maybe wait a week or two to do this step, just in case maybe the vendors are still selling like the last of their stock, even though it's not on their catalog specifically. But it's always best to do this step at some point to kind of clean up all your old stock codes. Let's see, and then last but not least, we're going to update our price bands. So with the catalog update comes new products, and we want to add those products to the catalog, or I'm sorry, to the price band, I mean. So to do that, we're going to go back to the Publications Grid Manager. And in this case, depending on what price bands you have, let's say we want to do Ascendant, and maybe we have a price band for all Ascendant items. So we'll just pick the catalog Ascendant, go ahead and hit search. We'll see all of the items associated with the Ascendant catalog. What we'll do is we'll go to the change tab and then update our price band to Ascendant all in this case. Whatever naming convention you guys choose to use. And of course, hit apply. And then maybe in this case, we also have a price band that's maybe associated with just inks and toners. So what we'll do is we'll go back to search here, and then we'll keep Ascendant, and then we'll also add the attribute for inks and toners, which I think is going to be under printer. There we go, printer supplies, toners. And then the same process, go ahead and hit search, back to the change tab, and update our Ascendant inks and toners pricing band. And then of course you do the same exact thing with any catalogs that have just been updated. So for SP, maybe for example, we do the same thing to update all those price bands. Now, if you find yourself confused, maybe you don't know exactly what price bands are, Patrick will actually be doing the next VOAF on price bands specifically, everything surrounding price bands. So stay tuned for that next time. But for here, that's everything I wanted to show you guys today. Thanks for tuning in.